You know, when we engage in stone throwing, it means that we have to carry stones. It means we have to have them in our pocket and have to have them just ready at just the right time to take them out and chuck them at someone. You know what that does more than anything? It weighs us down. It hurts us. Like I said this morning about that illustration about my mom, that thing was hurting me more than it was hurting anything else. It was weighing me down. I think it was after the Civil War. I know Zach's been reading a lot about the Civil War. I've been reading a little bit about it. I think it was after the Civil War. Robert E. Lee was out, and I think he was coming through Kentucky, which I think stayed pretty, someone else could maybe correct me on this, but tried to stay pretty neutral during the war. And he was going through Kentucky, and he came across this farm where there was this Southern sympathizing woman there, and she had this tree in her yard that had just been destroyed by the artillery shells from the northern troops or from the Union, and this thing was all scarred, and this thing was all beat up, and it was dead. It was dying, and there was really no purpose for it to be there. And he looked at her, and he said, "Why do you still have that there? Why don't you, why is that still there?" And she said, "Well, to remind me of what they did to me, and to remind of what they did to our land." And he looked at her, and of course he was a Southern general, and he probably dealt with his own issues with everything with the war, and he looked at her and he said, "Cut it down. Cut it down." What was it doing? It was hurting her more than it was hurting anyone else, more than it was doing anything else. And sometimes when we carry those stones around in our pockets, and we're just ready, and we have our justification of why this person needs this and why other people need to know of what they did wrong, and so that we can be right and all of those things, it's doing nothing more than weighing us down and hurting our own spirit. So the best thing to do with those is just get rid of them. Get rid of those stones. Let the Lord do His work.